It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Dr. Calvin Finch, who's answering a question off the air. Mark Peterson and David Rodriguez is with us. Hey there, David.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good
Happy New Year's.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Mr. Peterson's hat here, and it's very colorful, Mark Peterson.
Well, I tried to support the UT folks last night. I know it's not the right color. Sir.
Well, it's in that same color range.
Well, we call this the UTSA color.
Oh, is that what it is?
Orange.
UTSA orange.
And it's going to be the Ohio State University land grant versus the largest Catholic college, Notre Dame. So it's going to be a pretty good game next week, right, Trace?
I don't say that name. I'm not allowed to say that name.
And Texas A&M will be there 1 year. We're getting there.
Well, how did if you don't remember, David did the seminar today on house plants. It was a well attended.
Yeah, we had a good crowd.
Yeah,
we had a real good crowd.
I was worried because of the weather, but didn't make a difference.
No, the sun's come out, and Trace and has got the crew going, and they were hustling before the talk to get space ready in there, and they did an excellent job. If y'all have never been here to Milberger's Landscape Nursery, not only all the great inventory they carry throughout the year and the season, like right now they're going to fruit trees and things like that, but that greenhouse is always very nice, and the inventory, it's high quality, very high quality, unique varieties of interior house plants. Mm-hmm. And then they have, of course, a great selection of cacti, succulents, and floral gift items from Phalaenopsis moth orchids to bromeliads, African violets, etc. But they do always a good job. And I was sharing with the audience, we did a real nice crowd today, sharing with the audience, 30 years ago or so, the availability and amount of species, varieties of houseplant compared to now is unbelievable what's available now.
Yeah.
They have, it just blows my mind. 30 years ago, we probably had 10 varieties that were typically available in the market. And so if you're looking for unique plants, they have it here at Milberger. So we covered a wider range of watering, fertilizing, selection, lighting, and all the principles, concepts of having success with houseplants. A little bit on propagation as well.
What do you think the biggest challenge is for
I think the biggest challenge is not necessarily looking at the price point. A lot of people's inclination is look for, this looks a little bit more expensive, but I think I'm going to try this, which they don't really have those types of lower grade type plants because they have very high type plants that you see at commercial, lawyers' offices, banks, really plants you're going to really have success with. There's a lot of low-grade house plants that are out there in the market, but which they don't carry here, and they're just good quality plants. So that's one thing, quality control and selection. The other thing is we nurture too much, the mama effect, so we tend to overwater.
Oh.
We're not using the right container, potting mix, the media. So we went through the types and proper nutrition and correct nutrition, So we covered a lot of that, but I think the biggest thing is lighting and overwatering. I think it's the decline of most houseplants.
On that note,
do you have any? Oh, I'm sorry.
On that note, I had bought my friends some of the. What's Calvin's favorite plant?
Cyclamens, okay.
And so I was storing it just briefly while they were out of town.
Babysitting their plants.
I was babysitting their guests. And some of the leaves of the cyclamens turned yellow.
Okay.
And I couldn't. I had been watering properly.
And where are they? Where did you have them?
Well, there you go. They were in a darkened kitchen. Light. I know, light.
Did you still give them to him after that? Or?
No, I got him back.
Oh,
I brought him outside, and I got him back
took off
in the
the dead
house.
leaf, right?
Yeah, I took off the green, the yellow leaves, and
light, air circulation, all the basics of growing plants. Yeah.
Yeah. So how much light does? I guess it depends on each different plant, right? It's how much.
It
light
depends on the plant. So we talked about a little bit artificial lighting. We talked a little bit about that, and we also talked about humidity. Humidity, because the AC, the heater things. Talk about old-fashioned using gravel under the basin or dish, misting the plant. We talk about water, salt water from using your soft water system.
I didn't even think about
municipality
that.
water. So we covered the whole gamut of issues that we even covered as far as, I know the fluoride thing's coming up again. Manual florists used to call them dracaenas, and some of those species of plants they get tip burn, and a lot of that has to do with the municipality of the fluoride in the water.
Yeah.
So we even talked a little bit about that too. So we covered everything.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. That's great.
You know what, Al? Can we go back to the cyclamen?
yeah.
Another thing that
I didn't kill him.
No, another thing that
damaged him.
happens to it, and then you see that yellow leaf sometimes. They get broken. The tops get broken off of the roots a bit, or a portion of them get topped. And that's especially if you're in the lane, the squirrel and the terrier lane, or the cats.
Or in the back seat of my vehicle.
Or maybe the Mark Peterson syndrome.
No, I will say I agree with this, because when I was going to pinch those yellow leaves off, well, some of them are already pinched down at the base.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's because I probably got them
or maybe the way you were
the back.
handling them and you smushed the leaf?
Probably were loose in the back of the back seat.
So you're going to let him adopt your cyclamen next year?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Mark is hiring himself out as a cyclamen whisperer.
I have lots of experience.
He just touches them.
But
and
the cyclamen fared pretty well in this freeze. I didn't see any damage this morning.
No.
You're right.
So how much rain did you get, David? You were talking
about an inch.
Wow, yeah, that's probably what we got too.
But driving around, Bexar County is a big county.
Yeah.
But driving from one corner, it's like, what are you saying, rain? And you get to this part, it's raining pretty good over here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird how that happens. So Calvin said he barely got a third of an inch. So
really?
That's all. Yeah. Well, that's what they reported for the airport for that that day, Thursday.
Huh.
So everyone has to put a rain gauge out and utilize it. So every area is different. So.
And I think I need to get mosquito dunks, because we put our old rain barrel out there.
Yes.
But
Old Saw's rain barrel.
Old Saw's rain barrel. Now it's full of water.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll see mosquitoes for a while.
You really don't? You think I'm okay?
No.
Okay, good.
I think be safe.
But it was funny. The bird baths were all full of birds this morning.
Oh, okay.
Thirsty.
Yeah, and there's still ice in there, and they're all there splashing around.
Thirsty. Put a little canola or a little oil on there.
Oh, really? Okay.
The
That's
wigglers
easy.
can't move in the oil.
Okay.
The young larvae in the pool.
The wigglers.
Okay.
You know why they call them wigglers, right?
Well, because they wiggle. Man, that's confusing.
Boom.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking even cooking oil works. Not if you don't have to use much. And, and it doesn't seem to affect the birds or anything.
All they're doing is they have a little tube to get some oxygen, and you're just covering the tube and you're smothering them.
Okay, so how much oil would you put into the half a rain barrel that's full?
A rain barrel?
What?
Let me get my calculator.
No. I'm calling a couple tablespoons.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm with you. I'm with him on that.
Okay.
That's good.
Hey, David, one of the things we've been talking about, and if you'd like to talk about it, great. And that's I don't think there's a. Is there a spring Master Garden?
Fall would be class 68.
Yeah, that's what
Fall Bear County Master
amazing.
Garden class. We just completed last month class 67, and class 66 everyone finished their requirement. We had a 100%, which is good.
Yeah.
Because there's always a few that don't finish or things happen. So that's remarkable.
Well, be careful now, because we might have a real sensitive person that flunked Master Gardener's.
I promised I wouldn't say anything.
And so, we used to do spring and fall, but with scheduling and all that, so we only do it the fall. We started advertising it early, like March, April, May.
Do you still have waiting lists?
Oh yeah. March, April, May. Then we'll take applications and we interview everyone in around mid-July, and we do a classroom setting with your peers. Everybody has the same questions. They sell themselves 3 to 5 minutes, and then we have a committee that selects. So that's a good process. Main thing is time and volunteering is the key. And then this fall, we'll probably be hosting it instead of the extension office on Cherry Ridge. We'll probably be doing it at the Botanical Garden. Because of the uncertainty of us moving to the Extension Urban Farm in the fall, winter. And I'm going to really beef up this fall class. So because of us going into and moving into the new Extension Urban Farm, so we have more volunteers that are able to help us get to the finished product, you might say. So more information will be coming.
Okay. And then a children's garden?
Children's garden, we have a couple volunteers. They finished the session. They'll be starting. They're taking applications for Saturday at the San Antonio Botanical Garden.
Okay.
So if you go to the website, and then Phil Harberger Park for Tuesday for homeschool kids. They're doing
is that new?
No, it's been around for years.
I don't remember us talking about it very
They
much.
do a wonderful job over there. So Phil Harberger Park Tuesday. Go to the website for more information for spring. And then, fall, the Botanical Garden as well for spring on their website.
Okay. Well, you got the mic. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
I just want to thank Trace. I know it's a lot of work and covering everything, and these guys are on top of bringing in their trucks, and they'll be loading up for spring. And they do have appropriate inventory now. I was very amazed in the interior house plants, as well as floral plants, fruit trees, and a lot of onions and everything else that they carry throughout the seasons appropriately. So they do a good job. So compliment him and his crew, of course. And it's good to see the rain this week and the sunlight come out. And let's have a good spring and have a strong winter as well. Fruit trees.
Deal. Cool.
Right?
Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys.
You take care, man.
Wow, he's really, I don't think I've ever heard him go in a spiel like that.
That's okay. All right.
My friend.
All right. 210-308-8867 is our number. 210-308. Take care, David. 210-308-8867. You can come on by Milberger's and visit with us in person. It's actually in the sun. It's nice. It feels really good in the sun. Oh, what's happening?
David.
It is cold right there, yeah, because you got to get the sun.
I'll send you
All right. And Calvin is talking to David about something.
Dates.
We don't
future
measure the
dates.
rain here, do we? Do you measure the rain here? Oh, okay. We'll have to find out how much you got. I checked the rain gauge, and we're kind of by the airport, and it looked like
Did you get?
looks like we got more than an inch.
Huh.
Yeah. So. What?
Yeah, and it rained for a long time.
I think so.
Every 24 hours,
What?
you should dump it out.
Okay. So it is possible we didn't, but we need rain rangers to call us at 210-308-8867 and tell us what part of town you're in and how much rain you got. And Tripp, you call us back. Tripp's got another Monarch report, so he'll call us back in a minute. He wanted to let us keep talking to David. Let's see. And you had a question when we first started the show. That woman came up. What were y'all talking about?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
She was looking.
Oh,
She was
grass.
looking for, wondering whether there was seed for San Augustine.
Oh,
And I told her about the old days that there is a seed, but that
Oh, wow.
none of us.
That was even before my time.
So that was carpet grass, which is really more of a swamp grass than it is St. Augustine. So
Yeah,
it's
Even more.
not a
swamp grass.
desirable something to seed with.
Yeah, and I did not clearly get where she got the recommendation on that. Somebody had told her about that St. Augustine grass, but she was faced with the situation which a lot of our listeners are with, that she had an area, a part of the lawn where it was not prospering. At one time had St. Augustine, and she was wondering if she could, in the light, and she thought there was enough light there. But I think part of it is the moisture, and part of it is a light problem.
so Mark, do you have a rule of thumb? Since is that what you what do you have rules?
I like rules of thumb. Yes.
Okay, yes. Do you have a rule of thumb for determining how much light you have? And because people always kind of, I think one thing I've learned is they overestimate how much light they have.
It varies slightly, but more than 10 hours of direct sunlight, you may
Okay.
do Bermuda. 8 to 10, we say zoysia.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 to 8 minimum for good St. Augustine.
Okay.
And so Trace may have hours difference or two, but that's generally the range.
So
And quite often we have to make sure that they're not just able to see the sun.
Direct
Yeah.
sunlight. Direct
So you got
sunlight on the grass.
And that's
I always talk about shadows.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
good too. I always remind them.
that
Go ahead.
that
You got to be
indicates.
able to see your shadow most of the day.
Okay. So if somebody were trying to gauge how much they had, because nobody's going to stay out in the yard for 12 hours and, count it, you just kind of go out and see, okay, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, 6 o'clock, it's not light yet. So 8. And you're going to see how much sun you have, just kind of peek out. And,
Or walk out with a cup of coffee and see if you can see your shadow.
okay. And how much more winter is there?
And then at 12,
Okay.
maybe a soda, and
Okay.
then you get a general gist of how much direct sunlight you have.
And of course, you can reinforce your preliminary, the conclusions you draw based on how the plants in adjacent yards and the rest of your yard are growing. You know,
Okay.
yeah, if nothing is growing as if there's sun, then there's probably not enough sun. So.
All right. Yes, sir.
But quite often you'll find that somebody will assess that they've got a lot of sun, but there's not enough sun that anything is growing in full sun.
No, we've had that question before where it's like, and then what else is there? Oh, well, this and
then
there's a huge oak tree and
Yeah.
Maybe not enough sun.
And the tree branches getting away from the mower, and it's,
All right, we've got to take a quick break. While we do, you give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up. Live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. Tripp, you call us back. We want to hear what's going on with your monarchs on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Well, if you're like us, at our house, the cold weather brought the stew out, and then we had bean soup, and man, it was good. What's that?
Did you make the bean soup yourself?
Yeah. And so this cold weather, now we'll give you the weather report, but if you want to get the best quality meats in that stew and the soup that you're going to make, you need to head on over to Pruski's Market right there at 10140 Highway 87. You'll find all kinds of great beef. You'll find sausage that'll go great. We had some We had the jalapeno and cheese. Was it jalapeno and cheese? No, it was the, I think the pepper jack and sausage. But it was so good. It really is amazing how good that stuff is over at Pruski's. So go by and visit with them. Today's a good day, or tomorrow, either one, and pick up some stuff for yourself. Just kind of say, okay, what do we want? Yeah. And if you've already been, you know what I'm talking about. It's an old-fashioned meat market with great service and outstanding products for you. Right
they do
there.
a chili, too, don't they? Or do they just
I think
provide the ingredients?
Yeah, they have. I'll have to ask them. I don't know if they sell it outside like by itself. I know they sell it like at lunch and you can get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they talked about that.
Yeah, Edmund talked about it. But yep, there are big games coming up, and if you want to do some grilling, Pruski's has got some great stuff for you. So check it out, Pruski'sMeatMarket.com. That's Pruski'sMeatMarket.com. Okay.
We didn't ask Trace whether his team won or not.
Yeah, let's not go there. Because, I could ask you how last Sunday went with
Vikings?
Yeah, how'd they do? Okay.
They lost.
Yes,
they lost bad.
Yes, they did.
It was terrible.
Trip is on the line at 2-0.
Oh.
We'll go to Trip. That'll be much more pleasant.
Yeah, okay.
Trip, welcome to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas. Thank you for laughing, Trip. Yes. You've got more positive news than football scores for teams that we like.
Yeah, I'm like really happy right now. So when I talked to y'all before the storm, I took the milkweeds and I put them in an extra room that I had so they would be okay. And when I was moving them, I noticed, oh boy, there's a monarch caterpillar on there. So I just kind of clumped them together so he'd have something to eat. And I went in there and watered them a few times. Well, I brought a couple of them out to put them out here in the sun. And there's a real big green chrysalis on there.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
Oh, I know. So I'm like, dude.
I always find them so hard to find. I mean, you can have, well, when it was the last year or the year before when we had like 22 caterpillars, and the team here at Millburgers, we could only find 2 or 3 of the chrysalis. Some of them get, the caterpillars will get consumed or something will happen to them, but they do a great job of hiding too.
So what does he do?
He made it right at the very top.
Huh. So what does Trip do now with his little butterfly chrysalis? Does he just let it keep it in the house and let it become a butterfly?
Yeah, you don't. It doesn't want to have it fly in this kind of weather, but 30 days from now, it might. And it may not. It may be one of those individuals that does not migrate either. So.
And he may be a house pet.
I like that idea.
How did you recognize it was a monarch versus a queen?
Because when I talked to you all on the phone, there had been another one on there, and you were talking about the antennas.
Yeah.
On the front of
good.
it.
Oh, good.
And so when I was moving that one,
I've seen more queens this year than anything.
That's but I didn't see them. They didn't come around for some reason. The queens, I had a few of the monarchs. I called in on that they left eggs each time. So I have it outside. Brought it out front. The wind's kind of, you know how it is. I wonder if I can put it back in the room.
I'm sorry?
One more time, Trip? Sorry.
Put them outside? Or?
So it could be in the sun, but the wind's kind of cool. I'm wondering if I should take it back in.
Yeah, I would leave it in until a little later today, for sure.
Okay.
And tomorrow is going to be the high. I think tomorrow is 60-something. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the wind cooling it. I'm worried about the wind maybe drying it out.
Oh.
So it should be in a nice, sunny, sheltered area.
Okay. What else? So how long are we going to have this warm weather? are getting warmer. We have another storm or no?
Let's see. Looking at the
over
weather.
next 30 years, we probably
Tomorrow, the high's near 62.
Yeah, it looked like 2
and
weeks.
The low is around 38.
Next 2 weeks look pretty good.
It's the 56 on Monday for the high, 37 for the low, 56 on Tuesday, low 44. Low. Okay, it's low in the mid 40s for the rest of the week.
Because I have the rest of my plants. They're on the south side of the house, coming up. I'm just wondering when I need to bring them back out. Wait another week or?
Well, if you Lulu leaves them inside during the winter until they're ready to fly.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be it takes them 30 days to go from chrysalis to the mature.
Is his butterfly going to be male or female, or how do we know?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm trying to think of a good name for it since it's going to be a house pet.
Take a general neutral name.
Like Monty.
Sean.
Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Sean Young and then
okay, yeah.
Sean Bean.
Sean Connery.
Yeah,
so
Sean Connery.
Could it be Sean the Monarch? What do you think?
Yeah, let's call it Sean.
Okay.
So we say when it hatches, we'll just say Sean be gone.
Oh, nice job,
okay,
Trip.
That's working.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks for the report.
I'll let y'all know what happens.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Trip. I'm glad you called. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Sharon, you'll have to call back. We'll get you on the air. We'll talk about the rain you got because I don't know what part of town, but she got about an inch of rain. So call us with your rain reports. We'll talk about them on the air, and you can do a little bragging. I think I got about an inch, but Mark thinks because I didn't take my rain gauge down.
Now, we could, on that airport, I think they go 5 p.m., don't they, as well? Or do they start?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so maybe that's
that might be part of it, because I think it was raining.
It was. Oh, yeah. But much later in the evening. But not much later.
So I'm afraid to talk on the air because I might jinx it about what you and I were talking about with the cold and the plants that didn't take a hit, or how soon after a freeze would you notice that the plants got affected? Like, because the whopper begonias still look good.
The what?
The whoppers. The whopper
Whoppers.
begonias still look great.
Well, I think the begonias did fine.
Okay.
The pentas got to kind of have a mixed look at this point. I think they're going to be they'll show more damage later. The zinnias, the zinnias that were left, and the new ones that had germinated, they got nailed. Most, as far as I can tell, I haven't looked real close, but most of the winter annuals look great.
I'm going to throw out 72 hours.
Oh, so in 3 days I should notice whether it's going to be okay.
Now the tomatoes are shot.
Yeah, tomatoes are shot. Again, Kevin prefaced that by saying it depends on the plant. Yeah, so some plants, no, they're gone.
Okay.
You hear strands of singing in the background.
But they still wouldn't look gone yet.
Oh no.
Oh, now they look gone?
Yeah,
okay.
But other ones will not. They're dead, but they just don't know it yet.
And I think one of those is the
zombie plants.
What is the big vine with the Queen's crown?
Coral Queen's crown, yeah.
Yeah. Now that one I suspect is gone, but it doesn't look gone yet.
Yeah.
The foliage still looks like it's there, but the blooms have been gone since a week ago or so.
Or the stems. Some of the little branchlets are dead, but sometimes the stems are green. So yeah, I think that's a nice rule of thumb.
72 hours. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I hope they hang on, because I expected that first night when it got down in the 30s. Okay, tomorrow I'll just go pull them up and I'll put something else in. They look great. They look great this morning.
Yeah, they're not sensitive.
Oh, okay, good.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
I was just saying, and my famous last words were Milton asked me, "What should
know,
I
he said
do?"
cover it.
And I said, "Cover it if you are able."
Yeah,
And then I
I'm
went
able.
like this and rolled my eyes. I'm going,
Yeah, I wasn't able. But, yeah, and what else is, actually, we took a lot of other stuff in, smaller stuff, and it sounds like,
Snapdragons look good.
oh, good, okay.
Oh, and stocks really look good.
the two Satsumas that we have. I have an Arctic Frost, and the girlfriend has a Awari or something like that. Awari.
A Ferrari?
An earlier Satsuma,
okay.
Awari. And they did real well. We just covered the bases and piled a little pine bark mulch on the base, a little triangle, made a little pyramid, and looked good. Put a little insulate around them, and that was it.
I haven't looked at my limes yet. I'll probably do that this afternoon.
That will be the telltale one.
Okay, so I have another question, not about the cold, but I stumbled on, I guess because of my computer history, I've started receiving videos for people showing me how to grow all these great fruit trees from seed. So, like, can I know we've had this question before. Can you do a pineapple in San Antonio?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay. So,
I mean, it has to be in a warm place. It's going to be, ideal would be a small garden.
Okay.
Or a small greenhouse. But, yeah, you could do that.
Really?
They taste
Okay.
wonderful, too.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, they taste wonderful.
Really? Okay. So did you
Because you can
did
get
you
them.
buy one, or did you do it from the top and do all the funky stuff?
I just, let's see, this was several years ago,
Yeah.
and we just used, Judy cooked with them a lot.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So,
So
we just use the top.
tops.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So so here's what they said to do was kind of cut the bottom kind of at an angle, so you left a little chunk, and then you take the bottom leaves off, and then you just put it in soil and wet the soil and keep it. It was that easy.
Yeah, it's not fussy at all.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm gonna try.
It's a little bit like a palm tree or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's isn't it a bromeliad? No, it's not.
Can I do mangoes?
No.
No mangoes.
Oh,
Okay.
they're tough. Mango would even see this cold weather.
Yeah, it would snap.
Okay.
So the classic one back in Michigan were avocados, and you put the two toothpicks over the little glass of water, and you can see the roots developing through that. And that will eventually turn into a tree. I don't know if you can ever get fruit from it.
Okay. Yeah.
The citrus is one of the few fruit trees, if you will, that comes true
From
seed.
Yeah.
So, but it takks a very long time.
Yeah, 6 or 7 years, I think.
7 to 9.
7 to 9. Holy cow!
Actually, unless you're our weatherman, it only took 5 years,
Oh,
Took 5 years. Okay.
which was surprised that got it made because
evidently Steve has connections.
yeah.
Well, he is a weatherman. You know, he speaks directly upstairs.
Oh, okay. It didn't help with his bats.
No.
Okay. And for some of the fruit seeds, like, okay, so let's say I was going to try to grow a lemon. Okay. The suggestion was to do the seed in for like a few minutes or maybe a half. I can't remember the length of time, but in hydrogen peroxide, I guess to scarify it, or no?
To scare it?
To
scare it away?
Yes, to scare it away.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay. Cool.
But maybe.
Should I soak it in water or anything like that?
Well, yeah. Well, we stratify milkweed, so I guess if we stratify milkweed,
and how do you stratify milkweed?
Actually, you just put it in sterile water.
Okay.
To rinse it off for one night and put it in the refrigerator. And then you dump that sterile water out and put it, and you put some, what's one of the materials?
Perlite or?
Well, first, don't you? We put it on a paper towel.
Okay.
To dry it, and then we put it in the perlite.
Well, we do.
Or sand.
I just use the clay material. It'll come to me what the term perlite would probably work. But you put it in for 5 weeks. You put it in the refrigerator.
In the crisper down below.
Oh, okay. All righty. I'm going to try. Seems like fun. So I'll have to, now that I'm juicing, yes, I'm a juicer, I will have to try and...
Sounds perverted, Milton.
It does?
Or...
it's healthy. I'm drinking carrot juice and celery juice.
How you doing that beets?
Pardon?
How are you doing with those beets?
The beets were okay. Actually, the beets taste pretty good. Freshly juiced, yeah.
Pickled beets. I got reminded how good they taste. Beets. Yeah, our friends at the Luby's do a really good job of pickled beet soup salads.
So we'll open that before we go to break. We'll open up that question too. So we want rain reports, and if you've grown successfully, like Calvin was talking about, pineapple or pomegranates from seed that you bought, the one that you bought at the store, or citrus or whatever, I want to know. 210-308-8867. I need encouragement. We're going to join the seed club. Like we have the men's garden club. This is Milt's from seed club. So far, there's just one member.
It could happen.
I'm also the president.
Yeah.
But, the meetings are short. But, 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up from beautiful stay here at Milberger's at 1604 Boulevardy Road. The wind seems to have died down a little bit, which is nice.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Right here on 9:30 a.m., The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Mark Peterson, Dr. Calvin Finch, and we're just talking about just a couple rain reports we need to get. You call us and just tell us how much rain you got, and we'll talk about it, and we can even find out if you've had anything affected yet by the cold temperatures. I'm eager to see how my poor little blue bonnets that I have, that just looked horrible. I mean, they hunkered down, but they hunkered down ugly. So I'm hoping the rain will help them.
Well, they shouldn't have a problem with that.
I know they shouldn't, but they just...
And they're so close to the soil.
Yeah.
The soil's got temperature.
I know the best thing you can do.
What?
Never go out and look at them.
Okay.
They are a native plant. You watered them well, right?
Yeah.
You watered them in lightly, continuously, frequently.
Yeah, and then...
Lightly.
Yeah.
Changing to infrequent, deep.
Oh, well, I don't know if I
don't think you're supposed to do that.
I don't think I did all that.
Yeah, no.
You don't. It can be the timing of the water after that initial one or two waterings can be a problem with bluebonnets.
I'm winking at him.
Oh, okay.
So you're not drought tolerant plant. You want to? I'd probably go 3 or 4 light waterings. And then be done with it.
Fungal as a fungal.
Okay, we'll see. Hopefully they'll perk up. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Give us a call and tell us what's going on. And Trace, it sounded like from what David said and from what you had said the last couple of weeks that some more stuff came in.
Oh, yeah, we got stuff coming in right and left.
Okay. You want to share those things with us? Or?
Shade trees.
Okay.
And 15s, 30s, and 45s. I think there's still one or two more trucks of those. Fruit trees are right behind that, although we do have a decent selection now. The rest of them are going to show up. I think I told them the week of the 17th. I'm not sure what day that is. So small crepe myrtles will come in at that point, too.
Ooh, okay.
But all your fruits and the 5-gallon shade trees that will meet the CPS green tree rebate will be in that same same truck.
Okay.
The red buds will all be there as well.
Now, if we get a red bud now, get it in the ground, will it still do what it normally does?
There's no reason it shouldn't.
Oh, good. Okay. I have a weird question for you. All right.
Why does that surprise me?
I don't know. So let's say, I'm looking at that tree, which is cedar elm, right?
Yes.
And I'm presuming you sell cedar elm, right?
We do.
Now, are the ones that you sell, do they also drop their leaves before you sell them, or are they different because you're getting them from a nursery type thing?
They are leafless.
Okay.
There can be some slight variations depending on where the farm is at.
Oh, okay.
Further north, they would come in leafless earlier, and further south, they might have a few hanging on.
Okay. I was thinking of that as I was driving and looking at all the trees. It's like, I wonder if Trace has to sell trees without leaves.
Well, it seems like
It's one of the best ways to plant it.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Sure. It's got far less stress than when it has leaves. So watering is still important, but it's not as critical as when it's 100 degrees out.
So seems like the cedar elms are more consistent than the oaks are, though, in terms of... almost all of the cedar elms in a neighborhood of the leaves seem to fall at the same
To me,
time.
cedar elms, if we're hot and dry like we have been the last 3+ years, they'll start defoliating in August.
Oh.
Altogether. Whereas an oak, some oaks defoliate.
Oh, that's it. I was going to say, they all say
weeks
to
ahead of
each
time.
other, all together now.
We must defoliate. We must defoliate. No, I gotta figure that out. Okay.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
But Texas red oaks and bur oaks, they're all they seem to have more variation.
And they're beginning to drop, I think, right now, aren't they? Because
some of the Shumard oaks are just turning.
Yeah.
Well, they've been turning, but they're starting to drop now.
Mine's just got all of them dropped.
Yeah, it did. Like with this wind and stuff?
About 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I did my final, when we took down all the Christmas stuff, they were leafless.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did.
My wife did the mowing thing. She didn't want to rake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we raked.
She mowed them all.
Yeah. There's something oddly satisfying about raking. It's like this
oddly
menial
satisfying
task.
mowing.
Yeah. No, we could mow too, but we didn't. But no,
What'd you do with the raked leaves?
We did the organic things. So we put them in the organic bin, and the city took them away.
Oh.
They've gone to a farm somewhere. They're running free. Calvin's giving me a weird look.
Well, I just said they're pretty valuable. Using your... If you don't use them, your neighbor would probably use them.
Oh, well, maybe so.
I was going to say, you could dump them take them and donate them to the medical center area. I forget that one street. What's that one street that the educational center is on? I think Kelvin lives on it, too.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we could just bring them on.
Dorothy Louise Drive.
Just make it a surprise. Just dump them.
Make it a surprise.
Drive by, throw them out the truck.
Just a little north of the property.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But if you bag your leaves in our neighborhood, you'll get about 3 people ask you, well, does that mean you want somebody to pick those up?
Yeah.
Because they'll pick them up. Yeah, one of us will pick them up.
And I got a text from Beth, so we'll give her credit for her idea. They all, at the same time, they go 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's all defoliate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yay. trees. Yay, what?
I was going to say team because
yay team. Okay,
but yeah, I like that.
Nice suggestion, Beth.
Or yay forest.
Yeah, there you go. All right, 210. Poor Trace is just shaking his head. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. All right, we got kind of off track there.
Off track. We went off the
one of
rails.
those feelings that you're the only adult in the room.
That wouldn't be you. So let's see. Okay, we talked about David's thing. You want to talk about some of the? You were talking about things that came in. Anything else that you missed?
We got more of the chemicals and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, really good.
So we're stocked up on most of the Miracle-Gro products and Bonide. This week should be Fertilome, heavy Fertilome, and a bunch of odds and ends.
Now, you brought me the new packaging Fertilome that was originally the cut vine and stump. Its now new name is?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. That's why I brought it to you.
I know. This is like, and I didn't write it down.
It's Brush Killer still in the name.
Yeah.
Brush Killer something.
Stump.
It has stump and it has tree or ranch or something.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Triclopter.
Yeah. But the chemical is still the same, and what I really liked about it for everyone is it came in a bottle. Comes in different sizes, but the bottle that Trace gave me had a little brush applicator.
The little one.
Is it Brush Killer or Stump Killer? Brush and Stump Killer?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think I hated two words on that. So anyway, it's beautiful. You just open it up and brush onto the freshly cut branch or stump, and
Fertilome.
It's Fertilome.
Yeah, Fertilome, Brush Killer, and Stump Killer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I really like that one because of the convenience and safety.
Yeah.
Well, it's more expensive than it was a few years ago, but it's still a good bargain.
Everything is.
Yeah.
But it's a whole lot better than having trees coming up in between your fences.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think actually Calvin mentioned this last week, as you get the smaller one, and then you get the larger one, and just keep refilling the smaller bottle because you have your applicator right there.
Yeah.
Sure, but it depends on how much work you're going to do. So I only go through my fence line once a year at a brush collection time.
Oh, yeah, which is coming up.
And I take a picket off, and I cut whatever's behind it. And I have so many that I have a little dish, and I use an old paintbrush. So I buy the big one to save a little money, and I use that as an applicator.
Do you do both the cutting and then the applying?
So it's a two-person process. I take the picket off, I cut the branch, Sandy puts the stuff on, I put the picket on. And then we move to the next picket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so that's the way to do
more
it.
It's really more like every other picket.
Yeah. But I mean that a two-person crew is just the way to do it. It's like you can move right down the fence line and cut it and toss it, and then have somebody right behind you.
The only improvement I would suggest is the blue dye, like when you're spraying weed killers, that used to come in it, so you could see exactly what you painted and what you hadn't. So we do add that to the little slurry.
Yeah.
Where do you get that? Did we ever figure out?
Yeah, we have it. It's called Market.
Oh, you did tell us
It's called
that.
Market Blue.
Okay. So there's another idea. And then, brush pickup is coming up. Did you get a notice?
Well, some neighborhoods just finished it.
Mine.
Oh, really?
Mine hasn't come yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we just finished.
Huh. Okay. This is typically the time they do it because of the weather, right?
Well,
It
all
varies
year
throughout
you
the
can do it.
city. What I've always urged them is just don't do it March.
Okay.
Or late February and March. Just
Right.
don't.
So-
That's the only time I wish the city would just hold off on it.
Oh, because of the
Because
oak
of oak wilt.
Yeah.
I've never noticed. Well,
No,
course
but
I
they
haven't.
don't. I tried to explain that to my friends over there at Solid Waste, and they would say, "Oh yes," and then go through.
It's a big city, so they may may not have an option of eliminating.
Oh, all right. At their own peril, they can disagree with you.
Oh, so hope he goes away. Hope you bother me, son.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. While we do, you give us a call, 210-308-8867. Want to hear your grown from seed stories. Want to hear your rain reports after this on 9:30 a.m. This is The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Well, thanks, Trace. Oh, huh. So apparently it's called the Hummer? Never mind.
You're going way too far into it.
Okay.
How would you spell that?
HM. Okay. 210-3, we've said too much. 210-308-8867. 210, David is probably listening, pulling over on the side of the road. No. All right, 210-308-8867. Gentlemen, what else is going on in the gardening world right now? What should people be doing? Did you do your training thing today?
I did, but I got to remember what it was about.
Okay.
I know the safety was pallets. We're unloading a lot of pallets, so they were instructed to never remove all of the shrink wrap at once. They didn't do it in layers. And we talked about racks. So lots of plants come on racks, and lift gates fail.
Oh.
So you don't stand anywhere near the truck while the racks are going up or down.
Okay. And then did you talk about the trees? Because there still looks like, I guess, till next Thursday?
Something like that.
The 16th.
Yep.
But
you know me. We'll still take them longer. We just won't be giving out the coupon.
So what's happening if I get my tree here before the 16th, my old Christmas tree?
Well, the first thing you do is you park.
Okay.
And then you go inside and you speak with the cashier. Say, hey, I'm here to drop off a Christmas tree. And they're going to give you a piece of paper, make you sign for it. And it is a coupon good for 20% off your purchase. It's got a limit. It's February something. It's got to be used by. And then you'll be instructed to pull down the parking lot, and the young men will take the tree out of your vehicle or off your vehicle or from inside your vehicle.
And it doesn't matter if it's my tree, the neighbor's tree.
Don't care.
Yeah, and
just have all the decorations and lights and stands off of them.
Yeah,
and you actually get a coupon for each tree, right?
And no artificial, Milton.
Oh,
I won't take an artificial tree.
Okay.
Can't grind that up.
No,
you could, but
yeah, it's not going to be quite the same.
Yeah,
and then you want to explain what you do with them?
So we have a pile. Let's loosely say that because it's a mountain sometimes. Of things that are organic that can be ground up. So twice a year we bring this 18-wheeler with a grinder attachment in it. And we scoop everything in. It comes out the other end as mulch. And then we use that on our bald and burlap trees. So it gets recycled here, and it has to be replaced every year. So it just makes sense. But we recycle almost everything. If it's coming back from a landscape job and they've got wood or leaves or anything that's organic, it goes in that same pile and will get ground up and reused.
Do you know how many you've gotten back? Just curious.
I don't have a clue.
No,
I would say at least 40, but that's...
Wow. And the 20% can be used for...
Pretty much anything but grass.
Yeah.
Chemicals.
Can be used for, I think, grass and gift certificates are no.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because that's a purchase, but not really.
And labor, I think, is also excluded.
All right, 210.
Can it be used for chemicals?
Sure.
Okay.
Great.
Like our products we talked about.
You can use it for your
stump killer.
Stump killer, brush killer.
Yeah.
Brush killer, stump killer, something. Hey, Greg's got a question about pruning after the freeze at 210-308-8867. What's going on, Greg?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. Hope you all are doing all right today.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm your buddy from North Texas, so we got a little colder.
It's our seed con. Yeah, you did get a little colder. You got snow too, didn't you?
Well, we didn't where we live. We just got rain, but about 30 miles north, they got 3 or 4 inches of snow. So
wow,
we were right there on the line. It just never turned to snow for us.
How cold did it get?
Let's see. Thursday and Friday morning, it got down to about 22, 23.
Okay, wow.
And then, so my question is, I've got some church cap and Greg's Mist Flower, a couple of tender perennials like that all got burnt pretty good. So my question is, can I go ahead and just prune those to the ground now, or should I wait a little bit, or how's that work?
Well, we generally, if you're a wildlife advocate, the longer you can wait, the better off we are, because the winter birds they use that for cover, and they use it for insects and everything. But in terms of the plant, you could cut them down if you need to.
So I consider it insulation. So I personally would leave it till right before a growing season.
That's a good idea.
Right. And if you do cover, it helps create more dead air space, even though it might be burnt or crispy. It keeps the rest of it warmer.
Strange. Okay. Milton asked me this very question. And I said, well, I like it neat, so I may...
I was talking about pruning Sinisa.
Yeah, I might just prune it right now. However, as Calvin said, and when I told Milton, I said, generally, we leave it up until the end of February for wildlife purposes.
Yeah.
Now, that's first I heard about dead airspace from Trace, but that is true. You would be surprised that if you could, on a low shrubby plant, that you would just keep that low shrubby plant and not.
We got a month and a half left of when we potentially could get another freeze.
Yeah, he's got longer.
Yeah, he does have longer.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Luckily, so we've got a pretty good little bird habitat in the back of the yard where most all these plants are at. They're in a section I've been trying to get going the last couple of years, so they're small, and I can go ahead and take them down because we never really see birds in that area. So for tidiness sake, I may clean it up.
I would ask my wife, honey, do you want me to cut it down, or do you want me to leave it? Because you're going to pick the wrong one. So you got to ask the question first.
I was thinking that I would ask my thrasher, long-billed thrasher, who seems to be everywhere, wherever there's a plant and or litter or anything. He's looking for insects and looking for berries, seeds, everything.
Yeah. Well, the tomatoes and Anaheim peppers, I think they lasted about an hour. Got below 30. They crisped it.
I still have tomatoes on my plants.
Do you really?
The plants look horrible, but I've got tomatoes, and I picked a lot of them off to ripen off, but they're still ripening.
Well, I picked off some this morning and started stuffing them in my face, except they were frozen still. They don't taste the same. The Ruby Crush when they're frozen.
A new craze sweeping the nation. Guess not.
Yeah, I should have been quicker to the draw on this. I still had a bunch of tomatoes on that BHN 968.
Oh wow!
And, I waited. Gosh, those are the most plentiful plants ever. I've got a ton off of it, but I left some, and after that first night of freeze, they started getting mushy. So they'll become seed collection specimens more than anything.
I just like how he just had to insert that in there. Oh, my.
Yeah.
BHN 968, which no one else in the entire country could get.
Sure. Stick it to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
I can't say much. I had one.
Well, you had the other one. There were two. You had one, and you had the other.
I think I remember about a month ago somebody came and delivered some seeds for y'all.
I think I remember that too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know what Mark's complaining about. But
Mark got some. So
yeah. So we shouldn't be planting those yet, right?
All four of us got some. Mark.
Yeah. Calvin split them up, so we all got some too. But we're still kind of sitting on them. That's okay, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Greg.
Well, that's about it. That's the question I had.
Good. Thanks for calling in, man.
What is your opinion, Calvin, of going ahead and trying to start them in a gallon can?
I think it's let's see. Well, the rodeo tomatoes we got those classes scheduled for the end of February. So, yeah, this could if we did it inside, we could do it.
Okay.
Well,
cool. I'm going to do that then. All right. And do
Good deal. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you, man. Yeah, you too. Thanks for calling, Greg. All right.
You bet.
210-308-8867. 210-308-8867.
I so wanted to pick mine up and move it into the greenhouse, but my wife said no.
Oh. Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not enough room?
It's a 10 by 25 greenhouse, so yeah, there's plenty of room.
Oh, okay.
You're 968, or you have a Ruby Crush. What do you have?
I had three Ruby Crushes, two Ruby Crushes and one volunteer 968.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember you talked about that. And that's which do the dogs prefer?
As long as it's red, they don't really care. And if it's green, they just play with it.
Okay.
They'll still pull it off anyway.
All right. That's rough. We don't
remind me what your dog varieties are.
The two that do that, one is a Cocker Spaniel and the other is a miniature Australian Shepherd.
The tomato dogs.
Chihuahua doesn't like them.
No, okay.
Strange.
It is kind of strange. I don't know that Australian Shepherds are known for their tomato-eating abilities.
Yeah, my Westies don't even bother with them.
Huh.
Although of course, every other wildlife species does. Yeah, raccoons and possums, everything. Fox.
210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. What else is going on, Trace? I'm going to check. Oh, the guy. Do you still have many Christmas items left for sale?
We got a half a display left.
Okay.
Sold some this morning.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah, there's still some.
And they're 90% off.
Almost free.
Yep. Like I said, I got me a snowman that lights up for an unbelievably low price. It was
almost free.
Almost free, yeah. I couldn't. Holiday cactus?
We still got it. It's all in the greenhouse. But
okay, yeah. That's smart. When do you what temperature do you bring stuff back out again? We were trying to figure out like when people could put their things they had brought in the house or in the greenhouse.
Well, if we're going to have more than 5 days of decent weather, we pull it back out.
Okay.
And then if we need to, we put it back in.
And what do you think? What is decent weather?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the plant. So everything that got shoved in the greenhouse is pretty cold sensitive. So above 40, I guess, would be my consistent above 40.
Okay.
For like avocados, for example, they're unhappy at 40. The bougainvilleas are unhappy at 40.
Okay. I'll go back to the weather here real quick.
The eucalyptus is unhappy at 40.
Yeah, we go below 40 every day.
Well, there's a freeze again Monday.
Is that?
I think so.
Oh. I got Monday. Said Monday night, low around 37. But, different places have different forecasts. It looks like by the time we get to Wednesday, the lows are in the 40s, maybe Tuesday night. But Monday night, 37, it says. And then 38 for Sunday night. And high and gusty, 20 miles per hour. Yeah, so 210-308-8867. Yes, sir, were you going to... Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was going to say... I was going to talk about Calvin's article.
Let's do it.
All right. Excellent article.
Oh, good.
Which trees are
There's a
best
poor little butterfly
for
over there.
throwing shade? No, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe did the newspaper people put that in there? Yeah. Best for throwing shade. Double meaning.
Yes.
Anyway, so I was going to, this morning, I was reading it, and I was going to mention that I thought Calvin forgot the Mexican white oak.
Oh.
And he goes, no, read it again. And he is correct. Right there in the first sentence, or first paragraph. The recommended trees for San Antonio area are live oak, Texas red oak, cedar elm, Mexican sycamore, Montezuma cypress, Mexican white oak, chinkapin oak, that's one of my faves, and Anaqua and burro. And so the article, as he goes through and talks a little bit about each one of those, and then does mention where to plant. I have always advocated for a shade tree no closer than 15 feet to the house. He mentions that. And also planting site.
What do you think about the drainage on that?
Well, that's just what I was going to say. And the planting drainage.
Yeah. You think 4 hours is too much?
Yeah. No, that's about right. 2 to 4, we used to say. Yeah. So it was a pretty big range.
In the old days, I wouldn't have thought much of planting them on a mound, but it works here in San Antonio, and has been successful. So I've kind of revised my thinking, and that.
Well, it was back in the 80s, 90s that I first started seeing that mentioned frequently in the literature. So if you have a thin soil type, maybe like, I don't know, stone oak, maybe.
Okay.
And so we get a smaller plant. We dig down as far as we can, and then we mound the soil up on a slow mound, not a steep one, a slow one, a slow rise, to allow the roots to exploit that new soil area.
Yeah, wherever they could, those roots do a good. If you use the recommended varieties of those trees, those roots will do a good job of finding the soil reservoir that they need to survive. And then quite often, I think almost every time, the smaller tree will get established quicker, and it takes a number of years before that older tree will catch up to it.
So I used to work in the Chicago area, and there's a Morton Arboretum in that area, and they conducted several studies, and every time they would take a smaller tree, usually it was a 1 inch or less, and a 4-inch tree, diameter tree. These are diameter trees, and plant them and then look at them after 5 years. Every time the smaller tree met or exceeded the larger tree.
Even in Chicago soil.
In Chicago soil. Now, Chicago soil is much like San Antonio soil in that it's clay, high pH.
Okay, so
in particular parts of Chicago area.
Let's help JJ out at 210-308-8867. What's going on, JJ?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
Fantastic. I know y'all been talking about covering and uncovering plants. I have some of my plants covered in like a trash can and stuff like that, where it doesn't get any air or any light. How long can a plant go without any sunshine?
Again, depends on the plant.
Okay.
We've got some plants that we've drug into the recommend we drug into shelter that don't even need light. They can stand the whole winter. But then most of them, I think most of them, 2 weeks is.
2 weeks? Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I had to uncover it and then cover it back up again for Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'd like to. It would be a lot more work, but as soon as it hits a reasonable amount, 38, 35, 38, something like that, and it's sunny like today, I want that big bucket off. I want to get a little sun, and then but then put it back. But that's a lot of work. So
it is.
If it naturally goes dormant in the wintertime, well, you can leave it on for a while.
Well, but if it's an evergreen tree like a lime or a lemon,
no, you can't do that.
It'd be pretty challenged for
right now.
That's why I have mine covering citrus trees, avocado trees, peach trees. I don't have to. Do I have to worry about a peach? Because don't those have to have a certain amount of chill hours?
No, they appreciate that cold weather.
Yeah,
but they don't need the sun on that. So.
Well, what about the citrus? Do they need it? Will they survive at least a week without having any sun at all?
I think they're safe for a week. I think you'd probably get by with 2 weeks. On like limes and lemons.
Yeah, I have them covered in a trash can. I have them covered in a blanket and then a trash can. And they're not seeing any light, and I was wondering if I'm going to end up killing them.
If you have a wonderful system that's easy to take off and put back, then you could do like Mark said. But I'm kind of like you. If I took mine off 2 or 3 days ago, it probably wouldn't have got back on.
Yeah, exactly. How much does that insulate protect them? Something like that insulate. I'm going to have to get some of that stuff.
Well, I think the insulate would have made. I think that would have done all right in the cold spell we had now. Today was the most challenging day, and I think that if it was held down well and the wind didn't get onto it, I think it would have done all right. I had an old blanket underneath the citrus, and then had what's the fabric that we sold there at Millburgers? The green.
Blanket.
Yeah, blanket. Yes.
Blanket over a blanket, and I'm thinking that'll be that easily dealt with this cold this time.
Wow, you protected it double there, huh?
Yeah. I have not had great luck protecting my limes and lemons. My history through 25, 30 years is not. I think I've gone through about 5 generations in that period of time from the cold.
So again, some of the citrus are more susceptible to the cold than others. So I just did my Satsuma. I just did a wraparound with Thinsulate, and I piled mulch up the trunk, and that was about it. And I clipped my insulate around the tree.
Well, I think the Satsumas would have survived this.
I know
this week anyway, but they didn't survive. When was it? 21.
Right.
So the Satsumas will go 25. Now below 25, now you're wondering, but we didn't come close to 25.
Okay.
Today or this morning was 28. That was the coldest.
Well, I actually don't trust the weatherman. If they say it's going to be 40, I start covering things up because it could be 30 something, in my area. So whenever they say it's just a possible chance of it being frozen, I automatically cover it because if they're off a few degrees, then I'm out of plants.
Well, in the old days, it seemed like in the old days the weather was weather forecasts were more reliable. I remember when Mark first started the evapotranspiration program. It seemed like the weather, the temperatures he got from just a few areas were consistent across the whole territory. Now it seems it's just like the way you describe it. It's erratic, and
Right.
6 blocks away, it's got a completely different temperature. So you really gamble if you aren't conservative and don't cover up things when.
Hey, JJ, we got to run to break. Okay? Did we answer your question, or you want to hold on?
No, that's it.
Good, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, JJ.
Thank you.
Okay, you take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back in a moment. You're listening to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. 210-308-8867. What's going on in your gardening world? Give us a call. Talk to us at 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Our phone number 210-308-8867. And Sharon is on the line at 210-308-8867. Hi, Sharon. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hi. Hey, I want to know, I've been hearing him talk about it's time to plant potatoes and sweet potatoes. Tell me a little bit about it, and then I have another question.
Well, the regular potatoes, February 1st is kind of a target date. And then, the typical way to do it is just a trench as deep as 18 inches if you can, but a foot deep or mounded up over the plants as they come up works. Sweet potatoes, you'd wait a little. It's too
They're a warm
cold.
weather plant, and I used to know they used to call the planting material slips, just like we call onion slips, and but I don't know what they look like. I can't remember because I didn't grow up in sweet potato country.
And everything that comes from always amazes me that any piece of that sweet potato will form a plant and produce fruit. I told you about I do a lot of bird watching, and I was in New Guinea, and they had planted in a swamp. They had piled the dirt up, and then the water on the squares, and they planted the sweet potatoes in these squares within in the water there. It was just amazing how they can produce any place.
But I think about May 1st.
That's right. It's got to be warm to start even.
Okay, well, I was hearing him talking about starting them now, and I was a little concerned about it. So what I'm asking then, I know how to take the slips off and start them off the sweet potatoes, but when would I start those slips to make my baby plant?
Well, outside, May 1st?
No, well,
taking
the slips.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I think it would take a month at the most, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm thinking. Or 6 weeks, maybe.
So
and they're tolerant. So if you're a little late, they would, or a little early, they'd still produce.
Mid-March, early April.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do. And we can we'll put the word out too if any of the. I'm sure there's some gardeners that are listening that have done it. Maybe they've lived in other areas where they grew a lot of sweet potatoes. But I think April 1st you do fine.
Yes.
Okay. I know all you do. All I ever do is just pop it right off of the edge of the sweet potato, and some take a little piece of the sweet potato with it.
Yeah,
Put
right.
it in dirt, and I've got them grow that way.
How many? Where do you plant them? Do you plant them in a raised bed or?
Yeah, usually because I do everything raised bed type thing. I did it last year, my granddaughter, but I did it too late, and she had beautiful vines, but didn't get any potatoes, and that's why I wanted to know when to start it this year. We did it in a big tub, molasses type tub.
Yeah.
And I've done it in swimming pools and other kind of tubs too, garbage cans. I've tried a few odd things here and there.
Well,
A lot of times the sweet potatoes come back if they've got plenty of water during the year. They'll come back on their own.
Yeah, if the cold doesn't get them. I know all my ornamental sweet potatoes got nailed for just this freeze last week.
Oh yeah. I had mine in. I don't know whether they'll make it or not, but anyway. But I just wanted to know when I should. I think
keep us informed, Sharon, will you, on the progress? Because I think a lot of people are interested in that. It's just amazing around the world how important sweet potatoes are and how easy it is to grow.
Well, I have a sweet potato I could start right now, and that's why I was asking. But it's probably just a little bit too early.
I think so.
Yeah, but you could experiment. But I think, I would experiment starting in March 15th rather than this early.
Yeah. I'll get some more sweet potatoes and let them see if they'll get some little stems on them.
Sounds good.
Well,
yeah.
That's what because I was a little confused with the other report I'd heard and not sure how that worked out.
Did you have another question, or did you already ask it?
No, that was it. When it started to slip. By the way, I live out west of Lackland, and we had an inch of rain.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where was it?
It's down by Lackland.
By Lackland. Good for you. Do you grow any fun stuff from seeds? Like I was talking about the pineapples and stuff. Have you done not from seeds?
Oh, yeah. I have grown lots of pineapples.
Have you really? Okay, so what do I do? Teach me, Sharon.
The way I always did it was just to cut the top off and lay it out to dry for about 2 weeks at least.
Oh, wow.
And then,
okay.
And then put it in a pot of dirt and water it.
Okay, Sharon, that seems too easy for me. You're going to have to make it.
Very easy.
You're going to have to make it a little more complicated.
I tried it in water. I had read about that one, and it didn't work for me.
Okay.
But I've started many of them and just cut the top off, let it dry at least 2 to 3 weeks, and then start watering it. Plant it and
okay.
keep it watered lightly.
I'm going to try the Sharon method.
How large did your fruit get?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I've had them get full size. I've had some that have gotten full size. Some depends kind of on the. You never know what time of the year they're going to set the babies. I've had them, but if they set it at the right time, because I don't know their time schedule or anything of how to gauge that. But you never taste a sweeter pineapple than the one you grow from a plant, and they're beautiful.
I can't get anything bigger than a baseball.
Yeah, Trace can't get it. Do you have any tips for Trace? He can't get any pineapples bigger than a baseball.
Before they ripen.
Really?
Yep.
Now I grow mine in probably a 3-gallon, those square pots that hold about 3 gallons. That's been my favorite ones to grow them in. And
how long do they last? Just out of curiosity.
I've had them last for several years. Now, once they have the baby, they kind of will die off. But sometimes a new baby will come off on the side of them, so they'll kind of reproduce themselves.
It's like a bromeliad.
Yeah, I think that's
kind of. It depends on. Otherwise, I've had that happen, but not often.
I think in the long run, it might be a variety of bromeliad.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Sharon.
I saw them growing in Hawaii when I lived there.
Oh,
and
very cool.
I've always loved them ever since, and so I've grown quite a few of them. But,
Okay.
And
I'm going to follow the Sharon method and see what happens, okay?
Well, they won't all set fruit, but so, try several of them.
Okay.
They're a beautiful plant. They're really pretty plants.
I'll try a couple. All right. This is exciting, Sharon. Thank you.
Bye, Sharon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So these are the tops from you being a juicer?
Yes.
Okay.
I got to figure out how to cut the pineapple.
Very carefully.
They make a little tool for it.
Yeah, I've seen that where you just push down and I'll have to go see where I can get one. I'll look on Amazon. Hey, Dave, hang on a second. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk to you in just a moment. He's going to give me some advice or just talk about growing plants from seed. After this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Hey, Dave is on the line, been super patient at 210-308-8867. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, Milton, how y'all doing today?
We're doing okay. It's actually kind of pleasant. When that sun hits you, it feels wonderful.
Yeah, it's a little windy out here in Spring Branch, but other than that, it's much nicer than it's been. No, you were talking about growing things from seed now. Cantaloupe, pineapple I have not done, but Trey's sitting out there, is he? I grow a lot of things from seed.
That's okay.
No, I'm teasing. I grow a lot of things from seed, as I've talked to Calvin before and whatnot. But if Calvin remembers, and I'm sure he does, the when they had the free plant giveaway over at the quarry, I have got my wife's favorite, the Catarella, the white, and I've got some seed from that last year, and I'm gonna try some of that later on, as it gets warmer. But I've got an old pot just outside the back door, and I kind of put seeds in there, every now and then. And I've got a citrus plant, and I don't know what it is because I've never really fooled with it. Anyway, it grew through the pot out in the back, and I had moved it. So it's actually out by my garden bed, and I just haven't, and it's probably been 10 years. So, it will produce something if I ever get around to messing with it. But no, I like to grow. I like to grow things from seed. It just it's a little more for me. I like to see it. In fact, I got peppers coming up already. So.
Oh, wow.
It's a little, it's a little more rewarding for me, yeah.
What kind of peppers did you do?
I did shishito and some jalapenos, and I want to do, I had some real good luck one year with the ones that grow in New Mexico, I guess, the Anaheim or whatever, the Hatch peppers.
Yeah.
And although I've heard a lot of people say that they don't do well, but I had really good luck with them. My only problem was the seed that I've got is probably 6 or 7 years old. But outside of that, don't let anybody discourage you from growing things from seed if that's what you like, because I get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
So
also, I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Calvin, but of course I'm a butterfly fanatic, but the butterfly pea flower, is he familiar with that? Calvin, are you familiar with that?
Which one? Pea flower?
Butterfly pea flower. Yeah, it's a blue flower.
No, I don't know it.
Yeah, it's tropical. It's tropical.
Oh.
Anyway,
Let me look it up real quick. You keep talking.
Our crack IT team is on it.
Like PEA? Oh, there it is, butterfly pea flower. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Is it blue?
Yes, it is blue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's pretty.
Now, do you ever use porter weed?
You can make tea out of it, apparently.
Exactly, and that's what I'm after. Walmart has actually got it, in the tea bags.
Oh,
but,
okay.
And you can buy it online in the leaves, but
I'm showing Calvin the pictures.
Yeah, I'm interested in growing my own. I've got.
I see the blue, but there's lots of blue flowers. So.
That's neat. So what kind of butterflies does it attract, or is it called butterfly because it kind of looks like one?
No. I was saying that as a side. I'm like Calvin. I love the butterflies and the birds, but no. I'm more interested in the health benefits of it because I've got a lot of arthritis and stuff. I just started drinking some of the stuff they sell at Walmart, and it does seem to be helping a bit. But I want to grow.
Oh, the tea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the one they have at Walmart, it's got a little cinnamon in it, and I don't. Cinnamon doesn't sit well with me.
So you grew citrus, right? Oh, I keep interrupting.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I've got one. And I've just never really messed with it. Milton, I kind of had it in a pot out here, and then I put it out in the back, and it grew through the pot, so it's actually growing in the ground now. But I've never really messed with it. I do intend on getting around to getting it up and seeing. It's never bloomed, but it's got some big thorns on it. I can't remember if it was lime, orange, lemon.
It's got thorns.
Does it have thorns?
Yeah.
Yeah, that usually indicates that it's immature.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anything? What else? Have you grown any other fruits? Or you mentioned the peppers. Any other fun stuff that you were kind of surprised by?
I grow all my tomatoes. And of course cantaloupe. I mean, all the easy stuff. Beets.
Now cantaloupes aren't that easy to grow. Do you bet you have good luck?
Well, yeah. The first year I did. Second year, pretty good, and it's just kind of. I've got shade moving over. Kind of moving toward. I need to trim some trees back, but. Yeah, the first year I really did good. And another thing, for what it's worth, I let my bok choy go to seed last year, and I probably had 40 or 50 bees out there at a time. So that kind of led into right when the cantaloupe started blooming. So that made a big, big difference. And I've seen, bees on, broccoli that I'll let go or whatever. But boy, I tell you what, that bok choy, I don't know what it is, but they, plants would have 30 or 40, bees on them at a time. So, and maybe I just got lucky last year. So,
that's cool. Now, did you plant those from a cantaloupe that you bought somewhere, or did you get the seeds here at Millburgers or in the mail, or?
Yeah, I got it there. I got it at Millburgers. Yeah.
Okay. When do you plant them? So let's play. We'll pretend I call the Dave show. Dave, when do you recommend I plant the cantaloupe?
Well, it depends. Usually, of course, I'm always either too early or too late. So
April's a good time.
April?
Yeah, April. Yeah, around April, 1st of April, mid-April. Okay. But I have tried to plant them in March, and the ground is still too cool, So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's fun, It's fun. I enjoy it, and I've talked to Calvin about it before. That's the way my grandmother did it, and and I think we talked about. I don't ever remember seeing transplants as a kid, much. I mean, I'm sure there were, but I don't.
I think
Calvin and I have talked about that. Yeah, we never saw it as a kid. So
no.
But we'll have watermelon transplants. We'll have watermelon transplants and cantaloupe too. I know I've seen.
Easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
are they?
So easy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're so easy. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But if you got seedless, it's a more of a process.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
So, and Dave, are you going to? Have you joined the pineapple club? Are you going to get a pineapple and start growing it?
Pineapple is really good for arthritis and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yes, that's why.
And the juice is expensive and it's full of sugar. But I had thought about. I actually thought about that a couple of years ago, but I have not attempted. But I know people that have, and they say it's fairly. It's not real hard, but
okay.
You can do it.
I need not real, quote unquote, not real hard.
Now, if Milton can do it,
yeah.
That's what I was going to say. It's Milton. Hey, you can do it, Milton.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You and Sharon have my back. I appreciate this. Okay, I'm not going to let you down, Dave.
Okay, all I wanted to ask real quick. Now, on seed, of course, a lot of stuff doesn't come back, true. Now, like on tomatoes and stuff, somebody told me that after so many years, it'll come back true. But if it's a hybrid, that isn't so, is it?
Yeah, they do come back true for 4 or 5 years sometimes.
But then do they try to resort to what they originally were, or the dominant seed? Because I think I'd heard that too, that after a while you begin to lose the hybrid and you get something else.
Yeah, I think it's less to do with the hybridization than just the natural process. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of times those hybrids are sterile.
Oh,
and that's one route.
Right.
But I also think, I do think the original parentage comes, one or the other comes through at the end, after several generations.
Okay.
But I don't.
Yeah, well,
I can't tell you for sure.
Yeah, well, the little Juliet grape tomatoes is one that I really like, and the grandkids love them. And gosh, I've probably been doing the same seed, year after year for 10 years, and
wow.
And it still looks like a large cherry. It's not grape-like at all, but the taste is about the same to me. So anyway, yeah. And I know there's a lot of science and whatnot, but how do they actually, say the any certain seed, that you get? Now, how do the growers, how do those guys get that seed? I mean, it's just years of growing, or how did they do that? I've often, being a seed grower, I've often wondered about that, and it matters not. I really don't care. I'm just curious.
Yeah, we got about a minute left, so
that takes a lot of active management. When you talk about seedless watermelon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that watermelon that we're eating, the seedless watermelon, is not going to reproduce. You have to go back a generation or more, and then you go forward again and get the fruit, and then it's a complex process.
Oh, I'm sure.
So sometimes they're saving the seed. Sometimes they're reproducing asexually. And sometimes, that's it. That's pretty much it. They're saving the seed, or they're asexually.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thanks for the help.
Talk to you later, then, Dave.
I'm going to get another pineapple today.
Bye.
Okay. I'll tell you how it goes. All right.
Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye. All right. We are going to begin to wrap it up for today. Calvin, maybe tomorrow, do you have all your classes kind of in stone yet?
Yeah, as far
Good.
as I know, I do, yeah.
Okay, good. We'll talk about some of that. Okay, so we'll find that out tomorrow. Mark, what you going to do tomorrow?
We're going to tomorrow. I'm going to work with Cappy on getting everything on the website.
Cool.
A
there
lot
you
of
go.
the GVST material.
All right, and I'm just going to be here helping make it happen. So we'll see you tomorrow back here at Millburgers. Come visit us. It's going to be pretty on 9:30 a.m. This is The Answer.